Hi everyone, this is Dov Hershkovitz from the Pipeline Authoring team, and this is 14.00 Kickoff video. As always, we do have a planning issue underneath Pipeline Authoring Group, issue number 15, where you can see a list of all the deliverable item and the fillers that we expect engineers to focus on. To begin with the goals of the milestone, since this is a major release, the goals of this milestone is breaking changes. With that, we are adding some bugs and technical debt, and this will be the focus of most of the release. There is one issue that I want us to focus on, which is to add three-stage template to the drawer. In 13.12, we've added the pipeline drawer. Maybe you've seen it. The pipeline drawer is the component that you see here on the right-hand side. It appears when you click on the pipeline editor and start adding your epic. You can expand and collapse the drawer, and the drawer content provides some useful information on how to get started and how to run your first pipeline. And there is like a simple image that illustrates how a typical pipeline can look like. And in this release, we are adding a template that will be aligned to how this pipeline is structured. So we have like a three-stage template. And in the build stage, we'll have one job, and in the test, we'll have two jobs, and deploy a single job. And this is exactly what we'll see here. So when new user will start using their pipeline from scratch, they will not see an empty page. They will see the drawer, and they will see the basic template on how the pipeline look like. And we believe that it will help the user to better understand the concept of stages and jobs and how to start writing your pipeline. Another thing that may be worth mentioning is the branch selector. The branch selector is the feature that will allow users to work on the pipeline editor that I just showed from different branches. We wanted to release it in the last iteration. However, we're able to detect a couple of showstoppers which we plan to address in this iteration. And hopefully, once those will get resolved, we'll be able to release the branch selector. Yeah, that's it. I'll be moving it now to Nadia to talk about the. I'm going to hand it over to Nadia to talk about the scope of work for UX.
Hey everyone. So as Dov already mentioned, in this milestone, we'll be mostly working on breaking changes, tag debt, some usability improvements, carryovers, which is great because it gives me some more time to go back to the drawing board and focus on defining the vision for what's coming next. So in this milestone, I will be focusing on creating visionary mockups for the CI/CD templates experience. So in our research, we learned that the experience for CI/CD templates or maintaining a library of CI/CD templates is incredibly important for large enterprise organizations. So we want to define the vision for what it could look like for you to create a library of custom CI/CD templates, maintain that library, enforce certain templates across the organization, notify your projects and developers in your teams about updates to templates and things like that. So feel free to check out this issue to learn more about the problems that we'll be looking into. The scope of this issue is very broad. So the idea here is to go over all of the different insights that we've gathered so far in problem validation and customer interviews and things like that. We want to collaborate with the compliance management team to make sure that we are aligned on the things that they are doing to enforce pipelines across projects. So we have some overlap there, so we'll be collaborating together. And we want to create visionary mockups. So it's not going to be like a final proposal. The idea here is just to create some mockups, some assets to kick off discussions around this vision within the team and across GitLab, across different stages. So related to this work, I will be collaborating, actually we've already started collaborating with the compliance management team to surface information in the pipeline editor about existing compliance pipelines. So currently, if a compliance pipeline is enforced for that project, it will run before your main CI/CD configuration, but we don't communicate it in any way. And it's important that we communicate it to anyone who's authoring a pipeline for their project, because the pipeline that they're creating might be overridden by the compliance pipeline. Another issue that is again related to CI/CD templates and making them more usable is improving the grouping of CI/CD templates in GitLab UI. So last milestone, I ran UX research, learning more about how GitLab users group CI/CD templates. So what would be a good way to organize them to make them more discoverable? And in this issue, I'll be focusing on applying those insights to figure out an MVC way to improve the grouping and the grouping of the templates in the template dropdown. Another interesting issue that I will be working on is solution validation for the integrated pipeline editor and visualization experience. So currently in the pipeline editor, you can edit your YAML, or you can view the pipeline visualization, but they're not connected in any way. And there's an opportunity here for us, without creating a visual builder per se, because that is just a lot of effort and it's not something we can commit to right away, right now. We're taking it step by step, and we want to make it possible for you to go from the job in the visualization to the place where it's defined in the YAML. So it makes it easier for you to edit the right job. And eventually, we're considering showing job details in a more human readable format, like so, perhaps in a model where you would be able to view the YAML, you would be able to view job details, where you can see what kind of job is it, when does it run, is it allowed to fail or not, and things like that, all of the different parameters. And then you can go to edit that specific job in the YAML, which makes it easier for you to learn CI/CD YAML syntax, because now you can make the connection between, okay, this job is allowed to fail, and this is what it looks like in YAML. So it's easier for you to go and actually edit the code. Yeah, and another issue that I will attempt to complete this milestone, we'll see how it goes, it's a filler issue, is documenting the pipeline graph in pajamas. So the pipeline graph is a pretty complex object with lots of different moving parts, interactions, and lots of different teams and designers worked on it in the past. So this is an attempt to kind of do an audit of the pipeline graph and document how it is and what it looks like and how it works right now. And we will create a Figma file that will contain all of the different components that can be used by designers across GitLab. And we will also document it somewhere in pajamas, so others can also access this information about the different statuses and states and interactions in the pipeline graph. So yeah, lots of exciting things coming up for 14.00. And now I'm passing it back to Dove to wrap it up. Thanks.